Hope everyone's doing well. So this morning I had training with a couple of our associates at Athena Financial, and after the training, we agreed that this information should really be broadcasted to the masses. So it should be shared. It really does no good if you learn something and you don't share it to someone else, right? Information gathered in your head does no one any good, and also information if you don't take action on does yourself a disservice. So hopefully I record a small video here giving you some statistics of what we talked about this morning and why it's important. So why it's important? It's important because in terms of finances, you need to know where you're at. You need to know where society is and why we're where we're at. And history tends to repeat itself. So you want to get out of your comfort zone and you want to grow, right? You want to grow your wallet, you want to grow your purse, and specifically to not be in trouble when the next pandemic or when the next event in our world happens. Why? Because every so often, every 10 years, people say that something happens that could put a financial burden on yourself and your family. So a couple of stats that I shared this morning that I want to share with you is that 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 prepared for their retirement. That's sad. So you work all your life, right? You work all your life. You go to work Monday through Friday, if for the average person from 9 to 5, and the average American only has $1,000 saved up for a retirement. You know, if you're one of those people that thinks Social Security is going to cover you, um, there's studies out there that say you're pretty wrong. So hopefully you have money elsewhere and you're investing elsewhere. Okay, 47% of Americans have less than $400 saved for an emergency. That is sad as well. $400 does nothing, and I'm gonna go over where you save this money as well. Where are people saving money? That also plays into the fact um, that the money is not accumulated fast, or the fact that you don't have enough money for an emergency and a retirement. 68% of older millennials are still working to pay off their student debt. Man, this stuff is sad. So by older millennials, this stat was received by I found this stat at cnbc.com. By older millennials, they're referring to people actually my age, so around 30, like older 35, from 30 to 39. So that sucks. 60% haven't paid off their college debt, which tells you that maybe the income isn't good, right? Or maybe the financial um, practices um, aren't good as well. So what are you doing with your money? You might be earning a lot of money, but remember, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Okay, and then after you keep that money, what are you doing with that money to make your money work for you? That's very important. Um, Talking about compound interest, right? That's the name of the game. 54% of people who start college do not finish. That's another sad stat. Where did I get that stat? I got that stat from CNBC. It's a little old. It's from February 13 of 2019, but it's still, I mean, I'm sure it hasn't changed dramatically. America, talking about US, we're in 22 trillion worth of debt in America. 22 trillion. And this stat was as of, let's see, I think it's a couple years old too, 2019. So 22 trillion, we're probably over 23 now. That's a lot of money that the US owes. Now, I mentioned before money. So when we're talking to our associates this morning, um, our goal is to get these stats and see how we could help people, right? And one of the ways we could help people, or at least to educate our families, our clients that we sit with, either small business owners, um, or just head of households. One of the things we say is, where do you keep your money? And this stat kind of goes towards that. So Fidelity, the company Fidelity, pays you about an average of 0.025 of interest in your account, right? And that information I got from Mr. Grant Cardone. He was doing a training a couple of months ago, and he shared that stat, and I wrote it down. That was pretty surprising. Well, actually, it was not surprising at all, knowing that the bank pays you less than 0.01 a lot of times. And then actually the national average stat says the national average interest rate the bank pays you on your savings account is 0.04%. So 0.04%. Think about that. So if you owe the bank, right, when you get your mortgage, your car loan, or whatnot, they probably charge you anywhere from 3, 5 to 7%. They charge you 7% for borrowing the money, but yet the money that you worked hard for and you have in their savings account, they pay 0.04%. That's a problem. It's definitely not a problem for them, but it might be a problem for you. 21% of Americans are on government assistance. See, that struck a chord when I got this information. This is straight from the census. Let's see. Yep, I got this from the census. So last census that they were able to gather this information was 2020. So 21% of Americans are on government assistance. It reminds me of that good old Kennedy quote, right? Fellow Americans, it is not what the country could do for you, it's what you can do for the country. A lot of successful entrepreneurs that I know, and some of the things we talk about when we're in masterminds, is that you really get value and you create wealth once you start giving value to other people. The moment you stop working or asking or trying to get money for yourself or trying to get goodies for yourself, and you change it to try to give value to people, try to make someone else be in a better position, that's kind of like with karma. That's when it comes back trifold, tenfold, right? So that reminds me of the President Kennedy's quote. Fellow Americans, it's not what the country could do for you, it's what you can do for the country, right? So we have to change our mindset now of that 20% of government assistance. Instead of getting help, let's find how we could, those 21%, find how you could get a job, right? Now there's jobs out there, okay? So find how you could get a job and then make money so you could help someone else. By doing that, we're gonna change those, what number did I put? $22 trillion in debt, and we are gonna become well off in general, not only as your family, your business, your community, but also as a country. And that kind of follows through with a quote that I saw earlier today. President Reagan. This isn't a political thing, by the way, but it's more. It has to do with the mindset. It has to do with the mindset of the current state of society, then and now, and what we could do, what we have to do in order to get into a better place. So then, during President Ronald Reagan said, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Okay? And what we have recently heard is a quote that was said by President Joe Biden is, "My message to everyone struggling right now is this: help is on its way." So if you could see the difference of mentality, the difference of practice, right? Social practice, social mindset. So let's continue. Lastly, the average American spends 4 months of the year paying taxes. What do I mean by that? So this was a training as well from Mr. Grant Cardone. He was talking about how much the average American earns, the income earns, how much money we keep, and how much taxes we pay. So I looked into it to kind of make sure the stats are right, and I used the Statista.com, and it shows that the average American makes around $56,000 a year. And out of those $56,000, the average American takes home 39,129, which is equivalent to about $3,200 a month, right? Of course, we live in California, that should be a little higher, but the average. And so from the 56 to 39, the difference is taxes. So the government obviously takes its share first, right? Unless you're a business or you get paid 1099, which is awesome. That's the best way. That's the best thing to do. If you own your own business, one of the reasons business owners are well off is because you get all your money first, and then you're in control of your money, and then you put your money, you invest your money where you think it's best. The average American, which is the most Americans, the most number of Americans don't own a business, right? So what happens? The government knows that the vast majority of Americans do not know how to spend the money. So they take their share of the pie first. So whenever they get paid, HR, your W-2, they take the money from your paycheck. And at the end of the year, when you pay taxes, you have to, give all your spending, your receipts and all that, so you get your money back. While the business owner does the opposite. The business owner gets all the money, and at the very end, you pay only what's necessary, right? So it's a different mindset. So try to change your mindset, try to change your habits, so that you maybe start a business and you keep more of your money and you pay less of the taxes. I'm not saying don't pay taxes. Pay what you're legally should pay taxes, but don't pay more taxes than you need, right? So the median cost of living in America is $53,000. So if the median cost is 53 and then the average American makes 56, that's not good. So you need to understand these numbers that we explained. By understanding it, you get to see where you're at and why you are where you are. If there's anything we can do to help, we're here for you. All right. So you can find us on Instagram on Athena Financial Group. So it's Athena Financial Group on Instagram, and we would love to sit down and talk if we could guide you towards the right direction, or maybe refer you somewhere else where if we don't have the resources or we can't provide you help, we would love to do that. So we have a good network team, and so if you have questions, send them to me. Have a good day.